Okay, 5 o'clock in the UK. On the Beck Granger YouTube channel, we're going to do a little reading for some of you more junior people out there. So if you are a young person, my hope for you is 3 things. Number 1, you keep your adventure spirit alive and strong. Always seek out adventure in your life. Number 2, keep reading, because reading is how we gain knowledge, skills and inspiration. And number 3, most importantly, developing a great winning survivor attitude. And survivor attitude is about courage, kindness and never giving up. So if you are a young person and you're into adventure, you're into reading and you've got a winning attitude, you're in the right place, we're going to do a little reading. So I put together some of my books that I've done for our kids here. Lots of you emailed in saying particular books you liked, so I tried to dig some of these ones out. Now these ones were popular with you guys, the skills book, and these are just short little books on waterproof paper that cover everything. This one's about shelter building and everything you need to make shelters, but we cover everything from hiking to camping to first aid to maps to navigation to how to get fit to loads of different things. So we've done many of these. Dangerous animals, tracking, expedition planning. So if you're into this sort of thing, these books are good for you. We did a compilation one as well, it's a bit thicker, that is about survival skills, everything you need, and the books kind of look like that. But these prove really popular with young people because they're waterproof. Then I put out some of these bigger manual, how would you call them? Sort of manualese, what do you call them? Bigger books. Kind of. Anyway, you get the idea. Like this. Done on the survival camp. Loads of sort of pictures and fun stories and stuff. We've done them on epic voyages, expeditions. Whole sorts of things about our planet. This one's Extreme Planet, epic climbs, and these are so many of my kind of favourite things that inspired me when I was your age, and I was young and I was getting into adventure as a kid, and I was like a sponge when it came to books and reading and learning. So hopefully these books, skills book and the bigger manual type books, will help you. We do some younger ones as well. Again, I just bought 4 of these ones, but these are about young people being guided on expeditions when they find themselves in really tricky situations. And we've done everything. We've done it from sea to rivers to earthquakes to jungles to deserts to mountains. And these are good for younger kids. And then probably the books we've sold the most of all around the world, and especially in China, are our mission survival books. And these are we've now done 21 of these stories, just delivered manuscript 21 last week, but they start off with Gold of the Gods, and they get a Wed, a Wolf, and Tracks of the Tiger, and Rage of the Rhino, and you name it, all over the world. And it's about a young guy called Beck Granger who finds himself in all sorts of scrapes around the world. And I wanted to give today a special shout out to all of you Chinese kids who read so many of these books. And for me, it's a reminder that the adventurous spirit in young Chinese people is big, and it's hungry, and it's growing, and well done. We should encourage that, a love of the outdoors, a gratitude for friendships, an understanding of the values that really matter in survival. And again, it's that courage, kindness, never give up. In Chinese, Yongbo Fanqi. So tomorrow in China, Monday, is Children's Book Day. So in China, Children's Book Day, and I just want to say thank you to all you young Chinese readers. Keep going, keep that adventure spirit, and Yongbo Fanqi. Which brings me to the reading. So what we're going to do today, I thought, is read the very opening of the very first book out of the whole Mission Survival series. So this is book 1 out of 21 in this range, and this is called Gold of the Gods, and this is where we get to meet Beck Granger for the first time. And all I'd say is that he is in trouble. So here we go, Gold of the Gods. Are we ready? And then after this, I'm going to take some questions from you guys, and you guys have emailed in so many questions. I've got them here lined up. I'm going to go through those afterwards. Okay. At last, the rain had almost stopped. The rhythmic drumming on the jungle canopy far above had faded into a distant murmur. Only the sullen drip, drip, drop of water splashing into muddy pools disturbed the silence as a single shaft of sunlight broke through into the rainforest below. Peering through the gloom, an inquisitive troop of howler monkeys clung to the lower branches of the trees. Their gaze followed the bright line of sunlight to where a bedraggled shape lay spread-eagled in a pool of light down below on the jungle floor. Every few minutes, a monkey let out a blood-curdling bark and violently shook the branch on which it was sitting. But the monkeys were beginning to lose interest in the strange, hairless ape that lay so deathly still beneath them. This was no longer fun. When they had first begun hurling sticks down from the trees above, the hairless ape had tried to defend itself against a barrage of missiles. Once, it had even barked back in their own language. But now it lay as unmoving as a lump of earth, no longer of interest. The time had come. As the noise of the monkeys slowly faded into the distance, a sigh that sounded almost human escaped from the inert form. Playing dead was not a survival strategy Beck Granger would normally use, especially with a bumptious group of howler monkeys. But with his body on the brink of exhaustion, Beck badly needed to look after what little energy he still had left. And somewhere, not far off, a far worse threat was still lurking. There was only one lord in the jungles of Colombia's Sierra Nevada mountains, and it was not human. As night began to fall, the mighty jaguar, king of the jungle cats, would be patrolling his territory once more. All day long, the young teenager, Beck, had felt his spirit stagger under the combined assault of rain and heat and hunger. Drawing on every ounce of strength he still possessed and using every shred of knowledge gleaned in a childhood spent learning the ways of survival, Beck had pushed himself onwards. Against all the odds, he was still alive, and somewhere out there was the goal he was searching for. In his fevered sleep, he had come face to face with the Indian once more. He remembered the first time he had seen those gleaming eyes. How long ago it now seemed. The carnival, the twins, Don Gonzalo, that extraordinary night in the square, the start of the desperate quest to find the lost city. And then Beck remembered. Around his neck hung a muddied amulet in the shape of a golden toad. His eyes glistening in the sunlight, his mouth wide open. Adrenaline surged through Beck's veins. He still had one final chance. Taking a long, deep breath, he put the amulet to his lips and so that's how it starts off, and now we go into chapter 1. So it's Beck lying on the jungle floor, half dead. Flashbacks to all these crazy scenes that had led to him being here. And then he remembered what was hanging around his neck. He gets this little pendant and blows the whistle for help, but will it come? So that's the opening of Gold of the Gods. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions from you guys. Here we go. Okay. First one, I'm answering this one because I got asked this about 1,000 times. How was it filming with Prime Minister Modi? And I know that lots of you in India are watching this, and I just want to say, first of all, we love India. What an amazing country. What a privilege it was to film with your Prime Minister Modi, out in the jungle, take him on a mini adventure, get to know the man, his vision, and share that time together. But we had an amazing experience, and I look at those sort of things, and really it's a huge privilege. He's Prime Minister of now almost the biggest country on earth, the largest democracy on earth, and his vision to me was saying, I want to clean up India. I want India to lead the way in positive environmental issues, and there is much work to be done, but we encourage that, and we encourage good ecology and trying to get rid of the use of plastic and trying to get rid of the use of fossil fuels and bad things like that, and we try and encourage anything that protects our planet. So for me, it was great to hear his vision, and let's hope many leaders in the world can really take up this mantle of doing all they can to protect our planet. It's our only planet, we've got to look after. So that's the first question, but yes, what a privilege it was, and a time that I will never forget. Second question, will you come back to India? I will come back to India. We filmed recently with Rajnikant, and that has just aired out there, and what a great guy he was. We've done another one that airs pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you who it's with yet, but another Indian superhero of an actor. And we're going to come back, God willing, and do more of these. But India is a country I love so much. I love it for your people, your spirit, your warmth, and your amazing wilderness. So yes, I'll be back to India. Favourite Beck Granger TV show that we've done? Out of all the series, which is my favourite? Is it Man vs Wild, Running Wild, or You vs Wild? Man vs Wild will always be special for me. Those many years, just one man, battling against the elements with our small crew. Some amazing times and experiences. You vs Wild for Netflix, our interactive show. That was above and more like making a movie, and really fun to do. And that's done so well for Netflix, and it's been a privilege to see that. But I think Running Wild for me is special because it's introducing other people to the wild and everything that the wild can give us all, which is confidence above all, and an awareness of how beautiful the world is, and it tests our spirit. And I love seeing that in other people as well. So Running Wild for me is always a special one. Favourite Chinese star we're filming? We're filming many Chinese stars as well. I think Yao Ming, the basketball player, 7'6", I think he is. That was an experience, taking him on an adventure. I'll never forget that one. But we've done many Chinese stars and love that experience. Favourite US star? I think probably President Obama, whilst he was sitting president. To be able to take him away, even with all the Secret Service, on an adventure to Alaska, for me was an amazing moment. And again, like with Prime Minister Modi, just a privilege to hear his vision and show close up the effect of climate change. And that was the goal of that show, and I think he was pretty shocked at how dramatic some of this glacial erosion that was going on in Alaska was. So that was a privilege to actually show. Two more questions. The next one, I'm not very good at school. Does that matter in life? Gosh, listen, here's the thing, school is not life. School is just a training ground. And you don't want to leave school as a superhero because you're peaking too early. What you want to leave school with is a resilience and an ability to pick yourself up when you fall down. And you want to leave school with a fight for life and a determination that you're going to go for things. So if you're not particularly brilliant at school, don't worry. Nor was I. I definitely wasn't. But don't peak at school. Peak in life. And the last question. Will you read from your new book, Mud, Sweat and Fears? So Mud, Sweat and Tears was my autobiography. Came out 10 years ago now. It went to #1. It spent, I think, 18 weeks at #1, and it's been a popular book, obviously, for me around the world with fans or supporters. I've been pretty reluctant to write a sequel to that. But I'm doing it because Mud, Sweat and Tears ends really when Man vs Wild starts, and so much has happened since then, and in a way I want to tell my children and my family those stories. So I've written a sequel to Mud, Sweat and Tears. It's called Mud, Sweat and Fears. I'm still writing it. I'm about 3/4 the way through. It will be out early next year, I think, or maybe even for Christmas time. And when I finish it, I promise I'll read. In fact, I might even read from it next week. Next Sunday, 5 o'clock. I'll tell you what, I'll do a little reading for it, but I can't promise it can't change. It's still raw manuscript. So there we go. Anyway, 15-20 minutes with you guys. So fun, Sunday evening, and I hope for all of you, if your parents watching, I hope this helps in some small way to give a bit of bedtime reading to your kids, and if you want to use it in schools during the week, all good. And keep reading, keep going. Remember, courage, kindness. Never give up. And for you Chinese readers on International Children's Chinese Book Day tomorrow, Yongbul.